Welcome to J&B Call, our first call. It is September 27th today, and thank you to all of you who are joining us. Unfortunately, we had a few things come up tonight, but like Jess always says, it's the beauty of the business.
Yeah, and we absolutely love that we can still carry out this obligation even though we have something going on tonight. So we wanted to do a recording for you guys to watch at your convenience, but please know that in October, I guess, the last Thursday in October, we're going full force. So do hope to see you guys live then. Yeah.
So in order to be entered into the draw this time, you guys are going to have to pay attention because at the end, our tickets to our regionals, which are in November. So pay attention at the very end, and our call is going to start right now.
Okay. So for tonight's call, we wanted to go over some points, how to figure out what to do to qualify, what you need to qualify, and what you're actually qualifying for. So I will go over that, and then Britt's going to go over some things to maximize your paycheck. And then we're also going to chat a little bit about goal setting and doing something every day to work towards your goal. So I'm hoping all of you know what your reports are. They do get emailed to you periodically throughout the month, and you can also pull them on your virtual office. Now to do that, you go sign into your virtual office, My Team Data, and then you go to Former Reports, and you can select it on there and email it to yourself to look at them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please reach out to your upline and have a call with them because reports are important. And this is how we keep track of our business. And this is something that you should be going over at least once a week if you are trying to build your business. So the first thing that we always shoot for once you are a VF, or even if you're a DD working towards VF, this is a number to keep track of, and it's working towards a qualified business. And in short, that is VFQ. So what that means is 1,000 small points. Now to calculate your small points, I'm just going to use a trio order because that's what we normally calculate all our stuff off of. So a trio order is 235.5 points. If your customer pays monthly, you're going to divide that number by 4 because that's how many points you're getting every month. If you get a pay in full order, you're only going to get 235 points, 235.5 points for that specific month. So if you're doing the 235.5 divided by 4, you're going to get 58.87 points every month for a trio order. Now, obviously, if there's shakes or quads or whatever there's added on to that number will increase. And you can also find that on your virtual office. If you don't know where, reach out to your upline. So you're shooting for 1,000 PV points. What that gives you is a qualified business. Now, those orders, so that 58 points and all those orders are coming from yourself, so your own customers, your DDs, and your DLRs. When you are a qualified business, you are earning 5% on all orders placed under DDs and higher, paid up to 5 generations. So what that means is if I am qualified, me personally, and I have a really big team, I get paid on 5% of everybody on my team up to 5 generations deep because that's how wide I am. So you guys, that is huge. When I had a call with my coach Lee last week, a couple weeks ago here, she said that 70% of our NMD's paychecks are coming from being qualified. That is a lot of extra money that you aren't getting paid on if you are not qualified. So maximizing your paycheck, get qualified. To look at those points, if you're looking at your reports, there is a line that says PB. Is it PB or P? Let me bring up my report here. Just got one the other day.
It should be PB, and then you'll have PBQ because your PBQ is your mid-month. So this will tell you where you are halfway through your month. So it could be anywhere from 100 to 500, or if it's like mine, it's really low until like the 27th of every freaking month. So it makes me have a heart attack every single time. So that PBQ is just to keep you in the know-how as to where you are. You'll also see the PBQ when you first sign on to your VO. In the little box in the left-hand corner, you'll see your PB, PBQ, POB. So that is that portion of it.
So it's important to remember that PBQ or PVQ, means that those orders that have been placed after today's date are not calculated yet. So what I do if I'm shooting for a big goal, I go through my customer genealogy report and I highlight the dates past today's date, and I see what those orders are and add them in. So it's a little bit of work, but if you're working towards a goal, it's so worth it to know where you're at and what you need. So that's PB and PBQ, and then POB. So what that is, it's when you're an SC or higher, and you want to be 3,000 points. So again, that's small points. So that's paid volume, and it comes from your VFs, your DDs, DLRs, and your own customers. And that gives you an extra 4% paid on your volume. So that's a total of 9%. If you are qualified in VF and in POB, that's 9% extra on your paycheck. So if you are even calculate it out, if your paycheck's $1,000 right now, add an extra 9% on just for being qualified. And as your business grows, that gets really, really big. Yeah, so that is...
Your POB also becomes very important when you get to the SC and higher, because it helps your paycheck, and two, it helps the girls below you, especially if you're helping them to get PB. If you're a PB solid on your own without having to use your DLRs and your DDs, I will tell you this right now, that being POB becomes a hell of a lot easier, because POB can be calculated in two different ways. And for the girls who are VFs right now, this might be a little bit confusing, but try and stick along, because this will make a hell of a lot of sense once you hit SC. So if you have that 1,000 points already that is your own and not using your DLRs, DDs, that 1,000 small points is already counted towards your POB. So you're a third of the way there. That way you're only relying on your team for 2/3 of your other 3,000. So that makes it so much easier. So the more you're placing orders, so if I had 1,500 points of my own, that means I'm only relying on my VFs, DDs, DLRs for half of it. And because our VFs are always pushing and our DDs are always pushing higher and higher and higher, you want to be strong on your own for that, so that you're not constantly scrambling to be POB qualified. Mm-hmm. So my VF is always going to be pushing for sales coordinator. So then she's going to rely on her VFs, her DDs, DLRs. So then I need to find a new VF. You know what I'm saying? So if you're really strong on your own, it makes it that much easier. And that's how you maximize that paycheck, is you just do not stop working. You keep inviting to these calls that we have every week. You do a private launch. For the girls who've been in this for a long time, like me, Jess, Lori, Jen, and Steph, and Lise and Justina, the list goes on. For us who've been here for a long time, those Wednesday calls are super important, because we don't have 50 people that we can reach out to right away. We maybe have 5 to 7 a week that we can reach out to and invite those to. So that is one way to really maximize that paycheck, is to always be keeping yourself PB and POB. Like Jess said, that's 9%, which might not seem like lots right now, but when you're 9% on 5 generations deep, that's a lot of money, especially when everyone's qualified. So that's basically maximizing your paycheck is what Jess had just went through, and keeping that qualified. You then go into, when you get into the higher levels, you'll deal with bib, which we can go over in a different call for the ladies who want to. And if you have questions about these, send them in to us, because we would love to explain this in depth more if you need it more. So that leads us into our next portion of this, which is goal setting. And goal setting is so important with anything you do in your life, whether it's with this business or whether it is with other things in your life. For me and Jess, it's barrel racing or fitness goals or anything. We always have goals. So for goals for October, what you really want to focus on is in regionals. For those, well, there's about 5 of us who went out of our team. We ended up talking to a guy who specializes in goals, and he was one of the guys who they sailed around the world. And on his goal sheets, he had to be very specific. So he said, if you have a goal on there that's been on there for more than 6 months and you have not attained that goal, it's obviously not important, so you need to wipe it out. You need to get rid of that goal because it's not pulling you. You want goals that pull you, not push you. So a goal that pushes you is discouraging. A goal that pulls you is encouraging. So that's something I really want you guys to sit down with and think of. So think of goals that will pull you. So an easy one is to message 1 customer per day and say screenshot that invite to the call and send it to your partner. So for instance, I would maybe invite 1 customer, I would send the invite, I would screenshot it to Jess, and she would then be my accountability partner. That means that I'm doing that every single day. So do something every single day for your business. It's not intimidating, and it literally takes 2 minutes to do. So it's a pulling goal for me. It's something that if I were to sit down on every Sunday and have to message 7 people, I probably won't do it because it's just so intimidating to me. So I need a goal that pulls me. So that's just an example. Some of you are different and might be able to sit down on a Sunday, spend an hour and send 7 messages. And that's great. So find your goals that pull you. The next thing is, in order to be successful with this business, we talked about, if you read the notes, you'll see it, is how much to work your business. So we call this business our part-time business. And how many of you guys work part-time hours? If you work part-time hours, you maybe work 1 to 2, maybe even 3 times a week. So that's 8 hours a day that you're working part-time. So that's 16 hours ish a week if you're working 2 days a week. So for our business, we have to treat it like a part-time business. The Aussies, if anybody follows the Aussies, they're working 20 hours a week. So they're working 3 full days a week on their businesses, and they're all Hunter Club NMDs. So that's something to keep in mind, working your business an hour every night even, working it in the morning, finding that time to work that business. And that means like sending the message, that's posting on Facebook, that's striking a conversation with a coworker or a stranger or something like that. So those are all goals to try and keep in mind while you're goal setting for this month. It's to also have a concrete goal of where you want to be at the end of the month. So for my month of September, it was to invite X amount of people to the calls and have X amount of customers out of it. So that was like a goal for me to be there. So if you're a DD, your goal would be to reach virtual franchise by the end of the month, and then you take your steps to lead you to that. So what does that look like? So for instance, to be at VF, you're going to want to host a private launch at the beginning of the month. Then you're going to want to invite in the middle of the month to the Wednesday calls that Michelle or Sandy host. And then at the end of the month, you're going to have another private launch for those people who didn't make it to the other 2. And if they haven't made it to those, then you're going to send them a recording of one of those 2 launches that you did. So that is the work you need to do in order to get to your VF. So sending people a message every day, sending 2 people, inviting to those calls, and following up with them. So those are super important things to work towards. And for the girls who are sales coordinators and higher, we should be trying to get to VF every single month. obviously. So we want to be doing something very similar to that. Jess, do you have anything to add to that?
Not to goal setting, no.
Perfect. Yeah, so as far as the goal setting goes for October, be very specific in what you want. Have your long-term goals, have your short-term goals. Obviously, our long-term goals are to get to NMD right now. And so every month we have steps to take to get to that point. So have a big goal in mind, put it in your corner, and then have your steps that you're going to take each month in order to lead you up into that goal. If you guys want more help with this, like, I mean, me and Jess are up for private coaching calls all the time with just going over reports and getting your businesses straight. And it doesn't matter if you are 5 generations down from us, directly down from us. We are open to do those. Send us a message and we can send you our availability to do that, because we love seeing everyone succeed. And that's why we wanted to start doing these calls again. Is just to try and help everyone get that kick in the butt to get working their business and to be that accountability partner.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And again, so, we are sorry that we couldn't make this live tonight, but these are the beginning steps to getting your business rolling again. It's figuring out where you are right now and where you want to be and where you're gonna be. And doing something every day for your business, whether it's logging onto your virtual office and seeing where you're at, looking at your reports, touching base with one of your reps, one of your customers. Try and do something every day. And it doesn't have to be an hour. If you take 5 minutes out of your day and lose the excuses. I've made them. Britt's made them. We've all made them. Lose them, because they're only hindering you and you're not going to get where you want to be. If that's where you want to be honest with yourself. If your goal is actually where you want to be, then do it. If it's not, then make a different goal.
Yeah, exactly. If your goal is to make $500 a month with this business, then put your $500 a month effort into the business in order to keep it that way. If your goal is to make 3, 5, 10, 30 grand a month with this business, then put that effort into it. And you'll definitely know the difference between a $30,000 effort between a $500 effort. So, I mean, we all have shit happen in our lives. Like, God knows, like, that's why we had to do this recording. It happens, but that's what's so beautiful about this, is it's just so flexible, and we can just send this lovely recording of this call. And so, like, that's what we just absolutely love about the business. The events too, I forgot to mention this. When Jess said excuses, the first thing that pops into my head is the events. So I know quite a few people who haven't come to any of the events that we've had, and they honestly change your business. And I'm not just saying this because, like, every time I go, it changes how I think, and it pumps me back up, and it gets my brain back into business thinking. So it's a reset for you. And for those of you who haven't been, it's really hard to explain to you the energy buzz you get from it until you've gone. So make November a priority. Make regionals a priority. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be huge because they're all coming from Florida. And I can tell you that there's a whole bunch of freaking Aussies that are going to be talking down there that are going to have a buttload of information for us to learn. So it's something to really, really put in your sights. And I mean, 2 lucky people out of all of you guys are going to win free tickets. So that's a big thing. So make that a priority. So in order to get entered today into that, you guys are going to have to send the little thumbs up like button at the end, and your name will be entered into the draw. We also have the Momentum Mondays. We will be for every team member that attends, you will be getting an entry ballot into winning the tickets as well. So you get 2 entries for watching this, and you get 1 entry for a Momentum Monday, and that starts on, Monday we'll start that one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this call. I hope you got something out of it. Like I said, like this at the end, and you'll be entered.
Regionals is November 3rd in Edmonton. Okay. Awesome.
Yes, I forgot
Thanks
to
so much,
mention
you
that.
guys. Any questions, let us know.
Thanks, guys.
Soon.